I need to leave to meet with a friend in like 20 minutes, so I just need to film this and it will be what it ends up being. And of course I get hair in my mouth. So, hi, I'm Una. Welcome to my channel. I do project panning and other related stuff. Today is an update. Another one, I think it's update number 5 for my Pan Those Eyeshadows project. I've decided to just update this whenever I can instead of monthly. So it's only been 3.5 months, almost 4, but I'm on my 5th update. And it's a very exciting one. I, for some reason, was not convinced that it would be, but it is. So I'm gonna pull out my spreadsheet so that I can just like get this ready to go. Also, I think I always have done this, except for maybe the first time, but I'm wearing all of my eyeshadows that I pulled on my eyes. I wore this kind of look, maybe not with all of the eyeshadows, but like a lot of them, and this kind of look a lot. I just generally tend towards this look a lot. I have worn this a lot in the past, but it's basically yellow on the inner corner, although I kind of layered a green on top of it, so it's a little less yellowy, a little bit of an orange in the middle, towards like a kind of pinky mauve in the outer corner, and then I put whatever shimmers on top to kind of blend them all together. I love it. I think that mauves and yellows are like my favorite kind of more neutrally colors, so yeah, I end up wearing this a lot. This project is 6 eyeshadows, completely random, that don't have pan on them, and then I either hit 20 uses or I hit pan, and I will walk you through all of my eyeshadows. So the first one is from my Urban Decay Naked Honey palette. It is the shade Keeper. Last month it had 9 uses. This is what it looked like. Now it looks like this. I don't think you can really see in the video, but there are some brush marks in person, and I have used it 22 times. So I did not think I was going to hit pan on this. I didn't really try to hit pan on this. I used a pretty floppy brush. These shades take a really long time to hit pan on, and yeah, but I used it 20 times and it's going to be rolling out. Or 22, but 20 is my minimum. The next shade is the shade Dark Matter from Terra Moons. This is what it looked like last update. It had 8 uses. This is what it's looking like now. I have pan. I think I hit pan after, wait. Ah! Oh no! It just fell out of the pan. Okay, well, let me try and salvage that. I think I can get most of it. But what I was saying was I hit pan after 26 uses. This shadow has cracked before, so this is not a huge surprise, but it is a tragedy. Very cool. So that no longer has pan in it, I guess. I'll repress this with alcohol. I will say this did crack once and I just kind of smushed it back in there, which is not the smartest move, but I can properly repress it now and that will no longer have pan. But I did hit pan in it. I hit pan in it after 26 uses. I used it, I think, 2 more times, 1 more time. I used it 1 more time. It's either way, it's rolling out of this project. That's really sad. Mostly because it won't have pan in it anymore. I think I salvaged most of the product. And honestly, this is not my favorite shade. It's just like a little bit too blue for what I usually wear. But anyway, that's too bad. Okay, the next shade is from Terra Moons, or no. The next shade is from JD Glow. That was from Terra Moons. That was Dark Matter from Terra Moons. This is from JD Glow. It is the shade Fairy Acid. I rolled it in last month and this is what it looked like. And this is what it looks like now. It's got a nice kind of disturbed area in the center. I have used this 22 times, so it's rolling out. I use this a lot as like an inner corner, and I would a lot of times layer like a gold kind of highlight on top of it. That's what I did today, although I also used it kind of on the inner third, not just the inner corner. I like this a lot. I definitely want to use this more and like let it really take the spotlight. I think with the other colors I was panning, it kind of just had to work in whatever look I was doing, which did not always go with these colors, but especially with like a cool tone brown. Yeah, this is a great shadow and I'm really glad I had it in the project, but it's rolling out. Okay, next is the shade Dandelion from my Odin's Eye Elva palette. This is what it looked like last month, and here it is now. There's a nice big dip in it. I did not think I would hit pan in this, and sure enough, I have not. And this shade is super like creamy and like kind of mushy, so it just kind of shifts around a lot whenever you use it, and it would be really hard to hit pan. I'd have to like use a really small brush to like try and hit pan, which I'm not doing with this. I have used it 17 times I've used it 18 times, which is pretty good. I thought about postponing filming this for a couple days, but then I just decided I wanted to film it because I have so many things that are rolling out. So this will be used a few more times. I gotta say, this is another shade that has like an orangey base and like a cool toned reflect, and I just like don't really know how to use it. And I don't love the shimmer formula in this palette, even though I love the colors so much and they look so pretty in the pans. I just feel like the formula takes a lot to get it to actually get on my lid instead of on my finger. Like, they swatch beautifully because they stick to my fingers really well, but the eyelid not so much. Anyway, I've used it 18 times, so it will be rolling out next month for sure, or next update. Okay, next is the shade Hannah from the Deuce Freematic, whatever. It was like a free palette in Nipsey. This is what it looks like last month, and this is what it looks like now. I hit pan after 9 uses, but I have used it 12 times. This had a huge dip in it from a previous project, so it was not a surprise. I did try and use a bigger brush, not just an eyeliner brush, but I still hit pan on it really quickly. And I did expand the kind of dip in the middle a little bit, but yeah, it's a pretty small dip. Just in the middle. I used it mostly as an outer corner eyeliner shade. It's decent, it's fine. I now have 2 pans in this palette though, which is nice, even though I pulled the pan out so it's magnetic. And finally, I have my Super Shock shadow, and here we go again. This is what it looked like last month when it rolled in. And here it is now. There is a pan. This is not surprising. A Super Shock shadow is pretty easy to hit pan on. I hit pan on it after 10 uses, but I used it 12 times. Yeah, this is always nice. I love a yellow. It's on my inner corner. That's mostly how I used it. Because I had to work with other shades that were not just other yellows. I'm happy to have it rolling out. That was my last Super Shock that didn't have pan in it, I think. Yeah, so very exciting. Now they all have pan in them, which is really, really nice. And I can just work on using them up, using more of them. So, based off of, so this is tricky, right? The numbers are a little bit tricky, especially because I just lost one of my pans, which is so sad. But basically, I finished an eyeshadow like yesterday, but I'm not counting it yet because I really want that pan in the thing just for right now, because if I delete it then it takes my pan percentage down, which is really sad. But, okay, wait. Right now I have 41 pans out of 250 eyeshadows. So the last month I had 38 pans out of 251 eyeshadows. I finished an eyeshadow and then I hit 5 pans in April. So that's a lot. I'm really happy with that. That's including the 3 pans I hit in this project plus 2 other pans. I'm very, very thrilled with that. Plus, I did hit a face pan, like a highlighter pan as well. Anyway, okay, 5 pans. But I used up an eyeshadow, so like the pan number disappeared, but also I have 1 fewer eyeshadow. Now I only have 250. So right now, my pan percentage is 16.4% of my eyeshadows have pan in them, which is incredible. That's the highest it's ever been, and I know that's going to go down again when I delete that eyeshadow that I used up, the second eyeshadow that I used up. But I'm so happy with that. That's also including pan in dark matter, which will no longer have pan after I repress it. But for the moment, I'm living in this one moment where I have 16.4% pan, and I'm thrilled with it. Yeah, so happy. So yeah, at the beginning of the year, I only had 12.3% pan. Now having 4% more is so nice. I had 32 pans at the beginning of the year, and now I have 41, so yeah, I'm really happy with that progress. I have gained and lost a few, I've decluttered some, I've repressed some, so it's been a little bit funny to track, but I have hit 12 eyeshadow pans this year, which is crazy. I hit 16 over the course of the whole year last year, so I'm feeling great. But, moving forward, I will be rolling in 5 new eyeshadows because I'm rolling out all of them except 1. So let's go ahead and get started on that. I just do a random number generator in Google because I'm filming on my phone, as you can probably tell, because the quality is not great. So if we go to my eyeshadows without pan spreadsheet, let me just triple check that this is accurate. It's not. Of course it's not. Okay, I think this is updated. If I roll anything that has pan in it, I'll just re-roll and I won't worry about it, but I'm gonna roll 5 numbers between 2 and 201, which is the number I have, which doesn't really make sense, but because I have 250 eyeshadows, but and I only pan in 41 of them, so there should be a little bit more than that, but that's okay. We're just gonna keep that for now and see how it works out. So I got 15, 113, 185, 135, and 98. Okay, let's look these up. I also just ran out of room on my paper, so now I have to flip to a new page, which is really annoying, but that's okay. Okay, 15 is the dark shimmer from my BH Cosmetics Carly Bible palette. This is a great one. 113 is Faso from my Magic Mini palette, which has already been in this project and is very similar to Dark Matter, which I just rolled out, so I think I'm gonna re-roll that one. Okay, 185 is Noir from Looksy Beauty, which is a single. 135 is actually a shade from my Melted Gemini palette, which I was working on last year. And 98 is the first shade from my Nomad palette, which should be very interesting. Okay, so I'm going to re-roll one new number, which is 44, which is the bright red from my NYX Ultimate Brights palette. So that is its third time in the project this year. Alright, I'm gonna gather those and we'll see what our color story looks like. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you all the shades and the color story, which is not my best swatching, but you know. So of course, first we have the Alba palette, which I have swatched. Next, the shade from the BH Cosmetics palette is this dark brown shimmer. It looks kind of pretty mid-brown actually when you swatch it out. It's not super impactful, but that should be interesting. I think I wore this yesterday actually for some reason. Last time I had a shimmer in this palette, I had pan on it in like less than 15 uses I think, so I might be able to hit this pan, which is pretty exciting. Okay, next is the red from my Ultimate Brights palette, which again is an Attention Hog. That is this shade here. It's actually pretty pink leaning, so I feel like I can maybe make this work, but reds are definitely not my thing. That's okay. Next is Noir from Looksy, which is this blue, which I actually have been using recently when I had the blue in this project, the matte blue, so I have some ideas for this. Hopefully it should only take like 2 updates to get my uses on it, although I probably won't hit pan. Okay, next is actually, what a fun coincidence, similarly to Hannah, this shade I was trying to hit pan on at the end of last year in my Pat Every palette, and so I have a huge dip in it. Again, I was using this for like eyebrows, eyeliner, so the dip is pretty small. But yeah, I can hit pan on this, like, for sure. Even though, you know, it's a targeted pan, that's the dark brown there. It's definitely like actually a dark brown. Like, they look about the same in the pan, this one and the BH Cosmetics one, but this one's like actually really dark. And I'm really excited to get to use this because they just like re-released this, so everyone's doing looks with it, and I'm very excited. And finally, we have from my Nomad palette, which is actually quite a similar color story to the Gemini, this yellow, which is at the bottom there. This is a weird color story, I'm gonna say. I like that it's more brown, it's more yellow. I do like those colors a lot, so we will see, but I will definitely have this rolling out and pan in this before too long, and then we'll see about the rest. Hopefully they don't take too long. Definitely not my favorite, you know, color story choices, but pretty decent. So thank you for watching. Once again, as I said last time, these updates get like the most attention, which is great. So if this is your first time to my channel, thank you. I hope you enjoyed. I would also like to say I think I have like 80 subscribers now, which is wild. 86, that's crazy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate every one of you. Whenever someone has their subscribers or they're subscribing like published and I get an email, I like star it. I'm like, I will remember you. Yeah, so feel free to leave me a comment about like any thoughts about this color story combinations. I really don't know what I'm going to be doing, or any other feedback. Thank you so much. Goodbye.